Hello everybody and welcome to another reaction video. Now, there wasn't an upload yesterday, but there was a good reason for that. Okay, it was a pretty stupid reason. I recorded a video, and I spent ages recording it. I edited it, I, put it all together, I processed it to, render it to one complete video, and when it came to uploading it to YouTube, I discovered that I'd already done that video 3 months ago. And unfortunately I had other stuff to do yesterday, so I couldn't do another video. So it's the first time that's happened that I've actually ended up recording a video that I've already done. And the funny thing is, when I watched the video that I'd already done, it was pretty much identical. Everything I said in the one I'd recorded yesterday was identical to the one I'd recorded 3 months ago. So, But anyway. So, today we're going to be reacting to a band I have heard of before. I've heard some of their music before, but I don't think I've heard this one. And the band is Ensiferum. Ensiferum. Or whatever. Right. For those of you who might not know, Ensiferum are a Finnish rock band from Helsinki, Finnish melodic folk metal band, should I say, formed in Helsinki in 1995. So they've been going for quite a long time. And the name Ensiferum means sword bearing. As I understand it, it's an adjective from the Finnish language, meaning sword bearing. So there you go. Like I say, I have heard them before. I've heard some of their music before, and I do quite enjoy it. And today we are going to look at a track called "Treacherous Gods." I have the lyrics up here as I usually do. Excuse me. Oh dear. So I think we'll just get straight on with it. Get straight into the video, and I've got wires tangled up everywhere. So yeah, I'll get straight into it. So this is Treacherous Gods by Ensiferum. Here we go. Well, it's a lovely, lovely piece of music. It opens with a really nice piece of music, and it gradually builds to this sort of fast, the fast main riffs of the song. And again, this is another thing. This is another band that do the dual vocal styles that I like. Because I've said time and time again, I like it when bands mix it up with the vocal style rather than being a persistent single style throughout the track. Just mix it up a bit. They've got the harsh vocals for the most part of the song, and then they've got those clean vocals as well. And the way they've done the clean vocals aren't just like the growly person just singing. It's got more of a sort of folk music feel to the way he sings and the sound in his voice. Rather than when you get bands like Opeth, when he growls and then he does his clean vocals. It's just him stopping growling and singing as he normally would. But this, I don't know whether it's a different singer or not, I'm not entirely sure. But, it's good that the two styles are so different. But the music doesn't change for it either. Whilst the song itself is called Treacherous Gods, I'm not sure as to the meaning necessarily behind the song. Because it opens, the land is silent before the storm. On the vast fields of snow, the wind is blowing strong. With its frozen cold and relentless touch, it leaves a dead and hollow land of ice. I have seen through the eyes of a wolf, and felt all its pain and loneliness. The beautiful land opened before my eyes, wild as a beast I ran into the night. The calling of the howling wind is raging in the realms of north. Creation of ice rising mighty to the skies, and treacherous gods shall fall. I'm not sure. It's not unusual for folk bands to sort of sing about nature and their homeland and stuff like that. It's quite a popular theme for these sorts of bands. So whether or not they're just talking about the homeland, their homeland, Finland is one of these places that's well known for being very snowy at certain times of the year and such like that. So I'm not sure, but we'll carry on. Let's see where it goes, because it's a very good song. See what happens. we go. That was that. Treacherous Gods by Ensiferum. Now, I'm still struggling to find any sort of meaning in this song, as it were, because the song carried on. Watching through the falling snow, there is no sign of life. The fire is gone out in the whirl of time, beyond the face of thunder. The storm is getting near. When the skies call my name, I have no fear. I have no idea. It's I don't know. I can't discern any actual meaning through the song itself. And it went on then to, they brought us misfortune, but their honour is about to be crushed. My blood flows cold as streams of the north. We'll never let them take our souls. The calling of the howling wind is raging in the north. Creations of ice rising mighty into the skies, and treacherous gods shall fall. And then it goes, time and time again, I witness the birth of a newborn star. I climb the highest mountain to find the essence of a new era. Now, just having read through one of those paragraphs there, are they actually, is this a very subtle song about a battle? Because it says, they brought us misfortune, but their honour is about to be crushed. My blood flows cold as streams of the north, we'll never let them take our souls. So they brought us misfortune, but their honour is about to be crushed. Now, are they suggesting that an invading army, brought us misfortune, they brought war to us, we didn't want that, but their honour is about to be crushed, like we are about to decimate them? And then he goes, my blood flows cold as streams of the north. So obviously he's suggesting that he has been killed, and his blood is trailing out into the open air, and as he's died, all his blood is cooled down to, as cold as the streams in Finland, where the snow and the ice has covered the land. And we'll never let them take our souls. Seems pretty obvious, we've died in battle with honour. Our souls are going to wherever. And the call of the howling wind is raging in the north. Creations of ice rising mighty in the skies, and the treacherous gods shall fall. Now they're suggesting possibly the fight between, I won't say so much Norse gods, because everybody makes the mistake that Finland is part of Scandinavia, and it's not. But that sort of thing, it's like how the Christians, brought their deities into other countries and were like, we will force our religion upon you because ours is correct. Are they saying treacherous God shall fall? It's like, we will beat back these invading Christians maybe, and their gods will fall, ours will prevail, we'll still worship ours after they've gone, we're not switching to Christianity, maybe, I don't know. But it's a very, very good song, very enjoyable. I do like it. Like I said, I have heard Ensiferum before, but I've never heard that particular song, and very much enjoyed it. So we'll leave it at that. If anybody would like to suggest a song for me to react to, then please do so by all means. Drop a comment in the comment section below, or you can message me on my Instagram or my Facebook page, which are also linked in the description below. I did put a post up on my community page of my YouTube channel saying that it is coming up to my birthday very soon, and that I'd like a suggestion for an awesome song to record for my birthday. It'll probably be the only present that I get that day. Anyway, there are a couple of rules when it comes to suggesting a track for my birthday. For example, only one suggestion per person, because when I did the 100th video I was getting multiple suggestions by people, and you know, it seemed a little bit unfair that if I chose one of their songs, you know, it would just be because they threw so many at me. So it's only one suggestion per person. All suggestions must be made on that community post as well, because when it came to that 100th video I was finding suggestions all over the place, and trying to gather them together to collate them was difficult, because at that time I had 100 videos to look through the comments of to try and find all the suggestions. And you've only got 3 days left to make a suggestion, because all suggestions stop on February 19th. Now, any suggestion that doesn't get used will be put onto my list as normal. You know, every suggestion that I get always gets written down on my list. So if you make a suggestion and I don't use it for my birthday track, fear not, it will be used at some point in time. Or if you just want to leave a regular suggestion, you can do it the regular way. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophia Lancaster Foundation. They are a British-based charity that are focused on trying to put an end to hate crimes. Specifically, them interested in hate crimes against people of the alternative subculture. I mean, they're not only aimed at that specific one. You know, they want to put an end to all hate crimes, but the alternative subculture one is the most important one to them personally, because of the way that the foundation came about, which is a hideously tragic story. And you know, it's a shame that well, if you don't know the story of Sophie Lancaster, it's worth looking it up and reading about it. But the basic gist of it is that this young girl, Sophie Lancaster, I can't remember how old she was walking through a park at night with her boyfriend, I can't remember his name, and they were dressed in goth clothing, you know, goth clothing, and you know, they were just walking through the park, minding their own business. You know, they weren't disturbing anybody, they weren't blaring loud music or anything, they were just minding their business, when they were set upon by a group of teenage boys. They had no idea who they were. You know, they didn't know who Sophie Lancaster and her boyfriend were. Sophie Lancaster and her boyfriend didn't know who these people were. It was just a group of teenagers, or whatever they were, and they set upon them and basically beat Sophie Lancaster and her boyfriend viciously. And in the process, Sophie tried to protect her boyfriend, and in doing so she ended up getting kicked very, very hard in the head several times, and this unfortunately led to her death. Now, when these teenagers were taken to trial, at that point, the judge decided to try it as a hate crime. You know, because before this, you know, attacking, bullying and beating somebody up for dressing in gothic or alternative clothing had never been seen before as a hate crime, but he treated this as a hate crime. Or she, I can't remember whether the judge was male or female, doesn't matter, you know. But it shouldn't take that for a crime to be seen that way. You know, it shouldn't come to the point where somebody's death has to make it suddenly a crime to do it. You know, there is no reason, and there can be no justification that anybody can give for doing that. You know, is there any valid excuse? How can you justify it? It's like, why did you beat this person up? Why did you attack them? Well, they were dressed like a goth. It doesn't work, does it? You know, why did you beat this person up? Oh, they listened to heavy metal. Were they playing it whilst, you know, before you attacked them? Well, no, but they listened to heavy metal, so I beat them up. There is no logical explanation for it, you know. There's no logical justification for it. Just because you don't like something about someone doesn't give you the right to attack them. If only politicians could see it that way. But, you know, it's just, you know, I think it's a very worthwhile cause because, you know, you've got all these other hate crimes around the world. You've got racism, you've got sexism, you've got ableism, you've got bloody hatred against people because of their religion. You know, we've got all of this sort of stuff, and these are seen as hate crimes when people are getting attacked. So, you know, basically, just attacking anybody because you don't like something about them is a hate crime. Just because you don't like the way they live their life, it's a hate crime. You know, if you're trying to justify attacking someone just because you don't like something about them, there is something fundamentally flawed in your head. Because, you know, but that's like turning around and beating somebody up because they like chocolate ice cream and you prefer vanilla. It makes no sense. And, you know, I do think it's a very worthwhile thing, because I myself, I've been attacked, I've been beaten up, purely for the fact that I listen to alternative music and because I dress in alternative clothing. Many of my friends have. You know, and even a member of my family was quite badly beaten just for listening to this style of music. And the thing that makes it even worse is, right, he was beaten quite badly. He was like bloodied, and you know, and once his attackers had scarpered and left him basically bleeding on the floor, he got to his hands and knees, you know, and he knocked on the door of the closest house and asked for help. And the person, as soon as they saw him, just closed the door on him because he was dressed in alternative clothing. You know, they didn't see the fact that he was beaten black and blue and that he was bleeding. You know, they were just like, oh, yeah, wearing a leather jacket, not interested. You know, and it's ridiculous that for some reason we've been labelled this violent culture, whereas we're not the ones who do the attacking. You know, we're the more passive and peaceful side. You know, you rarely, if ever, hear of somebody of alternative nature going down the street and then jumping and beating up somebody because they listen to Eminem. You know, it doesn't happen. But the other way round, it happens all the bloody time. You know, it makes no sense. And you know, that these hate crimes need to be stopped. And, you know, that's what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is aimed at doing. And, you know, if you want to find out more or maybe get a better explanation about what they're doing, because I am not that great with explaining it, you can pop over to their website. There is a link to their website in the description below. If you can pop over there, you know, you can find out all about them. You know, they have merch like these little bracelets. You know, if you can show them any kind of support, even if it is just buying a £1 bracelet, that's excellent. You know, any help they can get is fantastic. But we will leave that as it is. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.